And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our preseason 2014 best in the ACC. We're going to take a look at the ACC top to bottom, see who has the best positional units, as well as who won the recruiting wars in the offseason. But first, let's start this video off by unveiling our preseason 2014 All-ACC squad. Jameis Winston out of Florida State is the starting quarterback on our preseason All-ACC team. The reigning Heisman Trophy winner threw for over 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns as a redshirt freshman. What's so impressive about Winston is his poise under pressure and his ability to overcome mistakes. He displayed the full gambit last year en route to Florida State's first national title since 2000. Now here are the rest of our preseason All-ACC conference players. Offensively, Tyler Boyd out of Pitt was tremendous as a true freshman last year. The athletic wide receiver caught 85 passes for over 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns, leading the team in receiving. And Laken Tomlinson out of Duke is an outstanding guard that excels on both ends of offense. Kicking off our defensive preseason All-ACC squad with linebacker Denzel Perriman out of Miami, a two-time All-American. Perriman is a true throwback of a Mike Backer and how he's able to get to the ball carrier quickly and arrive with bad intentions. Now here's the rest of our preseason defensive All-ACC squad. Defensive end Vic Beasley from Clemson was virtually unblockable at times last year, and the Tigers are extremely happy that he decided to return to Death Valley. Cornerback Kendall Fuller out of Virginia Tech was the ACC's Defensive Freshman of the Year and also earned Freshman All-American honors after recording 11 pass breakups and 6 interceptions. Looking at our preseason All-ACC special teamers, Ryan Switzer out of North Carolina was outright dangerous to punt the football to last year. Switzer averaged 20.9 yards a punt return, bringing 5 back for touchdowns, which tied an NCAA record en route to becoming a freshman All-American. Florida State had the best recruiting class in the ACC. As you can see, a heavy emphasis was put on both sides of the line of scrimmage, stockpiling great talent up front. But wide receiver Travis Rudolph was, in my opinion, the gem of this group. Rudolph has very good acceleration with excellent run after the catch skills, which could help him see time early as a true freshman. Boston College got themselves another good linebacker prospect in Connor Straken, who excels on both ends of defense. It's going to be fun watching quarterback Deshaun Watson develop at Clemson. With his unique skill set in that offense, he could have an outstanding career for the Tigers. Duke got themselves a pretty good playmaking defensive back in Alonzo Saxon, who looks like he can excel as an off corner or even as a safety, and he has very good ball skills. The Yellow Jackets strike gold with quarterback Matthew Jordan, who has a little bit of Marcus Mariota to his game, which could be deadly for ACC defenses. Running back L.J. Scott was already turning heads this spring for the Louisville Cardinals and could see plenty of time in the backfield in rotation as a true freshman. With the tenacity and physicality of Casey McDermott, he'd be fine on any side of the football, but should turn into a very good offensive lineman for the Miami Hurricanes. North Carolina's running back Elijah Hood reminds me a lot of the New England Patriots tailback Stephen Ridley, a running back with very good balance and enough burst to rip off long runs. NC State's Contavious Street at 6'2", 265 can play either with his hand in the ground or as a stand-up edge rusher. Either way, he'll add athleticism to the defensive front seven. Alex Buxer fits the profile of a Pitt offensive lineman. He's a big guy, a big offensive tackle prospect that can lock in and extend very well and shows good strength at the point of attack. Adley Anoisi has college size already, and once he gets acclimated to big-time college football, he could put up some amazing numbers out there in Syracuse. The Virginia Cavaliers land another good safety prospect in Quinn Blanding, who's an excellent alley defender that's also a very good open field tackler. Shy McKenzie at 5'11", 210 pounds is a good broken field runner. I think he can also excel as a kickoff returner. And I really believe Virginia Tech got themselves a very good running back prospect in McKenzie. Wake Forest gets another outside linebacker in Rashawn Shaw, who, like other good backers at Wake Forest, can blitz, accelerate, and explode on contact. North Carolina gets a nod for the best group of quarterbacks. Junior quarterback Marquise Williams saved the Tar Heel season last year and gives them great hope and optimism in 2014. Also, Mitch Trubisky is no slouch either. As a redshirt freshman, he was nearly named the starter last season after Brent Renner went down with injury, so the Tar Heels are sitting pretty at the pivot position. The Miami Hurricanes have the best group of running backs. A healthy Duke Johnson by himself makes this a top unit, but when you have guys like Gus Edwards, who also average 5.1 yards a carry, combined with Johnson's ability to score on each and every play, that's what keeps defensive coordinators up at night. Wide receiver Devontae Parker, who almost left for the NFL last year, along with Eli Rogers, gives the Louisville Cardinals a very good 1-2 combination. And when you toss in the spectacular play from tight end Gerald Christian, who averaged 15 yards a catch last year, it makes defenses have to cover every blade of grass. Florida State and Louisville are tied for the best offensive line in the ACC. Florida State's Trey Jackson and Cameron Irvin, along with Louisville's Jake Smith and left tackle Jamon Brown, are some of the best in the country at their position. Vic Beasley's return gives Clemson the best defensive line in the ACC, but Corey Crawford is also one of the most underrated defensive ends in the nation. And when you look at defensive tackles Grady Jarrett and DJ Reader, they help the Tigers become one of the most stingiest run defenses in the conference. I'm staying put in Death Valley for the best linebacking core. Both Stephon Anthony and Tony Stewart, coming out of high school, were the number 1 and number 2 linebackers in the country. Anthony has been nothing short of spectacular while Stewart dealt with injuries. He's now fully healthy and starting alongside Anthony, giving Clemson 2 fabulous second-level defenders. When does Florida State not have a very good secondary? Even losing guys the caliber of LaMarcus Joyner and Terrence Brooks still isn't enough to knock Florida State from having the top secondary unit in the ACC. Free safety Jalen Ramsey and cornerbacks PJ Williams and Ronald Darby make it a no-fly zone for opposing offenses. The Duke Blue Devils have one of the most complete special teams units in the conference. Kicker Ross Martin was 2 out of 3 last year from 50+. Punter Will Munday averaged 42 yards a punt, downing 21 inside the 20. And Jamison Crowder averaged 16 yards a punt return with 2 touchdowns. And kickoff returner Devin Edwards averaged 30 yards per kickoff return, bringing 2 back for touchdowns. There's 3 great pro prospects, in my opinion, in the ACC this year. That's Jameis Winston, quarterback for Florida State, Vic Beasley, defensive end, who could have came out last year from Clemson, and you also have to look at Denzel Perriman, one of your classic Mike linebackers. All 3 guys will have long, successful careers at the next level. The Offensive Player of the Year goes to Jameis Winston. You look at what he did last year, 40 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions as a redshirt freshman. Now the game will slow down for him because he has a year of experience where he had a lot of success. So I think this year you're going to see the best of Jameis Winston at the quarterback position. Defensive tackle Luther Matty was an all-conference performer last year for Virginia Tech, and he was a constant nuisance up front with 6.5 sacks and 7 TFLs, and I think he has a great chance to replicate and build on last year's performance. Clemson's Mackenzie Alexander was one of the top cornerbacks in the country last year and was expected to make a splash as a true freshman, but an injury forced him into a redshirt year, so look for him to make that splash this season for the Tigers. Terrell Hunt made great strides last year as the season progressed and did a fabulous job in a bowl game versus Minnesota. He's going into the season now as the guy with this dual threat ability. I think he's primed for a breakout season.